Welcome back to Pharmacon tutorial. In this lecture, I'm going to talk about antidepressants. So let's get right into it. We all experience changes in mood. Life is not always that simple because there are times when we might experience unusually long period of sadness, guilt, and decreased interest in activities. This is what we call depression. So, depression is a mood disorder characterized by sadness, loss of interest in daily activities, suicidal feelings, etc. People experience depression in different ways. It may affect daily work, affect relationship with people, and some chronic health conditions. In order to understand the cause of depression, different theories or hypotheses have been put forward. First is the amine hypothesis of depression. It actually revolves around the fact that the decrease in the level or function of monoamines such as serotonin, norepinephrine, dopamine, etc. in the cortical and the limbic system of brain causes depression. Second cause is a decrease in brain-derived neurotrophic proteins which promotes survival of the nerve cells, that is the neurons, which plays a role in growth, maturation and maintenance of these cells. And abnormalities in the hypothalamus pituitary adrenal axis and sex steroid level also thought to have role in depression. The goal behind the drugs that we use for depression is to increase the level of monoamines such as serotonin, dopamine, norepinephrine in the synapses between the neurons in the brain. So this can be attained in three ways. First, we can inhibit the reuptake of the monoamines. Secondly, we can inhibit the autoreceptors that are responsible for carrying out the negative feedback and thus inhibiting their release. Thirdly, we can inhibit the enzymes that are responsible for the metabolism of these monoamines. So first we will see the reuptake inhibitors. Category of drugs coming under this is the tricyclic antidepressants, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, serotonin noradrenaline inhibitors and noradrenaline dopamine inhibitors. The tricyclic antidepressants can be remembered using the mnemonics anti-DEP. The drugs include amitriptyline, nortriptyline, trimipramine, imipramine, doxepin, protriptyline and clomipramine. Among these, amitriptyline and imipramine have longer acting active metabolites. The mechanism of all these tricyclic antidepressant is to decrease the reuptake transport of both the serotonin and noradrenaline and thus increasing their level in the synapses. Due to inhibition of this noradrenaline reuptake, there is adrenergic overstimulation, and due to inhibition of serotonin reuptake, there is a serotonin syndrome, which includes symptoms like sweating, rigidity, myoclonus, hyperthermia, and even seizure. Apart from these two actions, they have three unwanted actions. First one is alpha 1 adrenergic blockade, second is the H1 blockade, and third is the muscarinic blockade. The alpha 1 blockade will cause postural hypotension, tachycardia, cardiac arrhythmias, etc. H1 blockade will cause sedation, and muscarinic blockade will cause atropine like side effects and also sedation. These drugs are contraindicated in epilepticus because they lower seizure threshold and precipitate convulsion. Coming to the next category of drugs that are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, which include fluoxetine, citalopram, paroxetine, and sertraline. Mechanism is clear from their names, that is, they selectively block the reuptake of this serotonin and increases their availability at receptor in the CNS. Unlike TCA, they have no muscarinic blockade, no H1 blockade, and no alpha 1 blockade. So all those side effects are not seen here. They do not cause weight gain and do not precipitate convulsion. They cause insomnia and impotence. One side effect is bruxism, that is a grinding of teeth. This is associated with any drug that increases serotonin level. Coming to serotonin noradrenaline reuptake inhibitors, they include venlafaxine and duloxetine. The mechanism of action is clear from their names, that is, they inhibit both serotonin and noradrenaline reuptakes. They have no side effects like anticholinergic, sedation, then weight gain, etc. And they do not precipitate seizures. Next, we have noradrenaline and dopamine reuptake inhibitors. The drugs include bupropion. It is used in smoking cessation and it will not have side effects associated with muscarinic, histaminic, and alpha 1 blockade, but it can precipitate seizures. Moving on to the classification of drugs that actually increase the release of neurotransmitters by blocking the autoreceptors, and the drugs include trazodone, mianserin, and mirtazapine. This trazodone acts by blocking the 5-HT2 autoreceptors for a serotonin release and thus increase the serotonin level and block the 5-HT reuptake also. They also have alpha 1 adrenergic receptor blockade activity. Next is the mianserin. Mianserin increases the noradrenaline release by inhibiting the alpha 2 receptors, and mirtazapine acts by blocking the alpha 2 autoreceptors, increasing the noradrenaline release, and also 5-HT2 receptors, which increases the serotonin release. The side effects are sedation and weight gain. All of these drugs produce seizures because they increases the level of neurotransmitters. Coming to the last group of drugs that act on the enzyme that are responsible for the metabolism of these monoamines, they are divided into two, that is selective and non-selective. The selective ones have only MAO-A blocking activity, while the non-selective blocks both MAO-A and MAO-B. These monoamino oxidase enzymes are mitochondrial enzymes that are involved in the metabolism of biogenic amines. There are two forms, MAO-A and MAO-B. This MAO-A is responsible for norepinephrine serotonin metabolism, whereas MAO-B is responsible for dopamine metabolism. An important concept to be studied before discussing these enzyme inhibitors is the cheese reaction. Now, normally when we take food like cheese and fermented food, the tyramine present in the food is metabolized by the MAO in the gut or liver. Now, when we take the enzyme inhibitors along with these cheese-rich food or fermented food, what happens is that the drug will inhibit the enzyme MAO, which normally metabolizes the tyramine, and hence the tyramine level increases in the general circulation, and they release large amount of catecholamines. And this may cause a fatal hypertensive crisis and cerebrovascular accidents. These cheese reactions can be treated with IV phentolamine because this phentolamine is an alpha blocker, so they will dilate the blood vessel and decrease the raised blood pressure. These cheese reactions are also associated with amphetamines, which are CNS stimulant that act by increasing norepinephrine and dopamine in the brain. Now coming back to the enzyme inhibitors, the selective MAO-A inhibitor is the meclobamide. They do not cause cheese reactions as they are reversible inhibitors. So if there is increased tyramine level, this will activate the enzyme and tyramine will be metabolized. Lastly, the non-selective MAO-A and MAO-B inhibitor, the drug of choice is the phenylaxine, which is irreversible and longer acting and will be associated with cheese reaction. That's all about the antidepressants.